Today is it's not hyperbole to suggest a very solemn moment. Today, the Supreme Court.
Are you guys ready to grit your teeth in anger as the leader of the country acts like a cowering, whimpering dog in the face of a minority party initiating a massive civil rights rollback? Are you guys ready? This is great. I can't wait for him to talk about how this is a dark day, but America is about the light on the hill and the shining light, and we're almost there or something.
For the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized. They didn't limit it, they simply took it away. That's never been done to a right so important to so many Americans. But they did it. It's a sad day for the court and for the country. 50 years ago, Roe v. Wade was decided and has been the law of the land since then. This landmark case protected women's right to choose, her right to make intensely personal decisions with her doctor, free from the interference of politics. It reaffirmed basic principles of equality, that women have the power to control their own destiny, and it reinforced a fundamental right of privacy, a right of each of us to choose how to live our lives. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk. As chairman and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, as vice president and now as president of the United States, I've studied this case carefully. I've overseen more Supreme Court confirmations than anyone today, where this case was always discussed. I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy. It was a decision on a complex matter that drew a careful balance between a woman's right to choose earlier in her pregnancy and the state's ability to regulate later in her pregnancy. A decision.
This is the guy that's supposed to like inspire action from Democrats. Like, fuck, dude, Trump is not that much younger than Biden, but anytime he gets up on stage, like, this is, like, they don't get this, you know? I would have, like, this is one of the reasons why I legitimately believe Bernie might have been a safer pick here or something. Because, holy shit, like, at least it projects some kind of fucking passion with what he's saying here. Joe Biden is like this animatronic at fucking Disneyland who's strung up here, but with, like, pulls and strings to give his, like, Hall of Presidents speech on the importance of, you know, there's no passion whatsoever. And Bernie's ancient too, you know, it's just like, God, they're all like 80.
Decision with broad national consensus that most Americans of faith and backgrounds found acceptable, that have been the law of the land for most of the lifetime of Americans today. And it was a constitutional principle upheld by justices appointed by Democrat and Republican presidents alike. Roe v. Wade was a 7-2 decision, written by a justice appointed by a Republican president, Richard Nixon. In the 5 decades that followed Roe v. Wade, justices appointed by Republican presidents from Eisenhower, Nixon, and Reagan, George W. Bush, were among the justices who voted to uphold the principles set forth in Roe v. Wade. It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump, who were the core of today's decision to upend the scales of justice and eliminate a fundamental right for women in this country. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset the balance of our law. It's a realization of an extreme ideology and a tragic error by the Supreme Court, in my view. The court has done what it has never done.
It's not an error. Why would you say that it's the culmination of decades of political advocacy and then call it an error? An error implies that this is some kind of, you know, procedural issue on the part of the Supreme Court, you know, like they've overlooked an element. This is a fully intended, the language, nothing outside of an acknowledgement of the evil of the Republican Party is sufficient here. You can't. This pussyfooting about it is just so pathetic. Republicans don't have this issue. Republicans will just go up on stage and go like, "Oh yeah, I think that all Democrats are evil. They want to kill your children and they're pedophiles." And then Democrats will go up on stage and go, "Well, that was kind of mean. Well, unlike my opponent here, who's very rude, I actually care about things." And like do like their standard fucking centrist dribble, you know? I just want Joe Biden to say slurs, okay?
Before, expressly take away a constitutional right that is so fundamental to so many Americans that had already been recognized. The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences. State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls were forced to bear their rapist's child. With the child, a consequence. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care.
Duty.
Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child.
Joe! God! Also, why not point out the fact that zero exception abortion bans also mean that people are going to be charged for murder if they have a miscarriage? Like, he can sell people on this. Republicans are so tyrannical that they want police to be checking in on your state of pregnancy, and if you have a miscarriage, you might get charged with murder in these states, you know?
Of incest, as a consequence of incest. No option. Too often the case. The poor women are going to be hit the hardest.
Pregnancies, yeah, as well.
It's cruel. In fact, the court laid out state laws criminalizing abortion that go back to the 1800s as rationale. The court literally taking America back 150 years. This is a sad day for the country, in my view. But it doesn't mean the fight's over. Let me be very clear and unambiguous. The only way we can secure a woman's right to choose, and the balance that existed, is for Congress to restore the protections of Roe v. Wade as federal law. No executive action from the president can do that. And if Congress, as it appears, lacks the vote...
Didn't Obama literally say that he was going to do that when he had enough people in the House and Senate? And then it was like an epic meme. Yeah, and he lied. That was good. Then he said it wasn't a priority. That was good. Also, like, let's be real though. Given the fact that Republicans are insane and bad faith, even if you passed federal legislation, couldn't somebody just challenge it and then have a lawsuit or like a court case against them get appealed up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court could be like, actually, we think this federal law is unconstitutional because, like, like, and then they just fucking get rid of that. Yeah, they could just do some states' rights bullshit or whatever. I mean, they can say whatever they want. It's not like they have to be consistent with their reasoning. They're insane, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that, like, at this point, nothing matters outside of, outside the court. Like, the Supreme Court has to be crippled. And literally anything else can just be undone by the Supreme Court. Guys, they have lifetime appointments. We could be dealing with a 6-3 court for, like, decades, potentially. And even if, like, Clarence Thomas bites it or whatever, like, that's still a 5-4 court, you know, in favor of red. And God help us if Trump or DeSantis wins a term or whatever, and then like Clarence Thomas dies and they get someone even crazier on there. Like this could be forever, you know? Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, the 7-2 court, God. There are ways you can increase the number of justices and put what you want. Look, I haven't looked that much into the packing the court thing. I don't really know that much about how it could even be done. I don't even know if it would be popular if the Dems did it. But I feel like we're getting pretty close to a nuclear option situation where anything the Democrats did that disrupted the court would be a good thing, you know, like no matter what. Um, yeah, we might be rapidly approaching a point where like optics is a consideration we no longer have the privilege of making. There's a bill in the House to add 4 seats right now. Fuck it, add 40. Pat, make a bill making it illegal to be a Republican. I don't care. I'll give it a look, SDO.
Votes to do that now. Voters need to make their voices heard. This fall, we must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law once again. Elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land. We need to elect officials who will do that. This fall, Roe is on the ballot. Personal freedom.
Every time Trump wanted to do something, he said, I will do it. Every time Joe Biden wants to do something, he says, we will, or we should. Like, he's always making an appeal. People make fun of him for this, you know? He always talks like he's asking his parents for, like, going to, like, the Arby's for dinner or something. Like, he's always making a bid to some higher power. He is the higher power. He is the person who dictates policy. He is the fucking president, you know?
Freedoms are on the ballot. The right to privacy, liberty, equality, they're all on the ballot. Until then, I will do all of my power to protect a woman's right in states where they will face the consequences of today's decision. While the court's decision cast a dark shadow over a large swath of the land, many states in this country still recognize a woman's right to choose. So, if a woman lives in a state that restricts abortion, the Supreme Court's decision does not prevent her from traveling from her home state to the state that allows it. It does not prevent a doctor in that state from treating her. As the Attorney General has made clear, women must remain free to travel safely to another state to seek care they need. My administration will defend that bedrock right. If any state or local official, high or low, tries to interfere with a woman's exercising her basic right to travel, I will do everything in my power to fight that deeply un-American attack.
What? What power? What are you gonna do? What? What? What?
My administration will also protect a woman's access to medications that are approved by the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA.
Oh, this is the thing the AG said. God, that fucking article, dude. The Attorney General says, actually, they can't ban abortion pills. And then the whole article is like, okay, so like 25 states have banned abortion pills, but like, they said they can't do that.
Yeah, like contraception, which is essential for preventative health care. Mifepristone.
Okay, we'll do a Weimar Republic research stream. Yes, okay, I promise, okay? It'll be soon. I promise. Stop spamming. Oh my god. We'll do it. Okay, I promise. Yes. Democrats are in a similar position to Weimar Germany Social Democrats, except they're not as radical as the Social Democrats. They're significantly more moderate than the Central... and we don't even have an active left party like they did in Germany. So it's like the Weimar Republic, except we're worsely positioned. It's like that, but worse. Okay. Thankfully, as we all know, things didn't go that bad in Germany. We have nothing to. We're fucked. All right.
Which the FDA approved 20 years ago to safely end early pregnancies and is commonly used to treat miscarriages. Some states are saying that they'll try to ban or severely restrict access to these medications. But extremist governors and state legislators are looking to block the mail or search a person's medicine cabinet or control a woman's actions by tracking data on her apps she uses are wrong and extreme and out of touch.
This point right here, this is a good part. Right here. Calling the Republicans extremists, saying that they're going to like search your pill cabinets, they're going to search your mail, like all that. This is good. Like this is the necessary alarmism. Like don't go like, "Oh, the Republicans have violated the spirit of the heart, of the light, of the democracy, of the hope, of the truth, of the freedom, of the..." Go like, yeah, they're like fucking cops in SWAT gear are literally going to no-knock warrant your shit and search your medicine cabinet. And if they find anything in there that can cause an abortion, they're going to just, like, rape your dog or something, you know?
With the majority of Americans. The American Medical Association, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists wrote to me and Vice President Harris stressing that these laws are not based on evidence and asking us to act to protect access to care. They say by limiting access to these medicines, maternal mortality will climb in America.
They don't care.
That's what they say. Today, I'm directing the Department of Health and Human Services to take steps to ensure these critical medications are available to the fullest extent possible. And the politicians cannot interfere in the decisions that should be made between a woman and her doctor. And my administration will remain vigilant as the implications of this decision play out. I've warned about how this decision risks the broader right to privacy for everyone. That's because Roe recognized the fundamental right to privacy that has served as a basis for so many more rights that we've come to take for granted, that are ingrained in the fabric of this country. The right to make the best decisions for your health. The right to use birth control, a married couple in the privacy of their bedroom, for God's sake. The right to marry the person you love. Now, Justice Thomas said as much today. He explicitly called to reconsider the right of marriage equality, the right of couples to make their choices on contraception. This extreme and dangerous path the court is now taking us.
Oh, why is he only mentioning gay marriage and contraception and not the scariest one, which is the anti-sodomy laws? The third of those, the one with Texas, maybe he just doesn't want to say like sodomy with laws because it's like icky or what. I don't know if it's like a bad word, but yeah, I don't know. I want to hear him say the word sodomy too. Yeah, I do.
Let me close with 2 points.
He's got the big three, you know. They want to take away your right to contraception. They want to take away your right to gay marriage. They want to take a right to raw dog that hot twink you saw at the club in the asshole. You know?
First, I call on everyone, no matter how deeply they care about this decision, to keep all protests peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. No intimidation. Violence
Whatever you
is never
say, Joe.
acceptable. Threats and intimidation are not speech.
Whatever you say, Joe.
We must stand against violence.
What is that pussy shit, dude? Threats and intimidation are not speech? Yeah, they are. Don't back off that. If you want to make the argument that they're not constitutionally protected speech under First Amendment rights, yeah, but they're certainly political speech. I don't know why you would... Okay.
In any form, regardless of your rationale. Second, I know So many of us are frustrated and disillusioned that the court has taken something away that's so fundamental. I know so many women are now going to face incredibly difficult situations. I hear you. I support you. I stand with you. The consequences and the consensus of the American people, core principles of equality, liberty, dignity, and the stability of the rule of law demand that Roe should not have been overturned. With this decision, the conservative majority of the Supreme Court shows how extreme it is, how far removed they are from the majority of this country. They've made the United States an outlier among developed nations in the world. But this decision...
It's crazy. America #1, baby. We are actually possibly about to get the most rapid backslide in civil rights in any of the liberal democracies since World War II. I mean, I guess like with Poland and Hungary and stuff, but I'm thinking like, Canada, Australia, Western Europe, stuff like that. Like of the, of the like the core, I guess, NATO countries or whatever. I think we're about to be like the big next one, because after World War II, like everything, yeah, I think, yeah, everything west of the Iron Curtain, everything like original NATO, at least, I think this is going to be the biggest backslide. I'm trying to think if there's any like, yeah, I don't know. Vosh, time to bring back slavery, I guess. Okay, you joke, but I legitimately do not think that Republicans would fight that hard against bringing back slavery. Think of how close we are already. First of all, slavery is already legal in the United States as punishment, right? Like, if you get arrested and convicted for a crime, like, you can be a slave. Like, the Constitution literally says that, right? And we already know that Republicans are very aggressive about weaponizing arrests as a way of enforcing civil control. So the idea of like just establishing like basically entire like slave penal colonies, where they like deliberately build prisons as part of like plantations, basically. Like obviously modern slavery isn't plantations because that's inefficient. Machines do that today. But can you imagine if prisons were built like as like just straightforwardly as a component of like factory development or something? We're already pretty close to that. We already have fuck, like private prisons, and we already have prison populations that are essentially rented out to big corporations for cheap labor. But imagine if there was a company like, say, I don't know, like Nestle or whatever, and they were like, yeah, we want to build this big manufacturing plant here in your state that'll like bring you a lot of money in taxes. But like, here's the like building plans, and this building right here will be like the penal colony, and we'll have like, you'll ship like 400 or 500 prisoners here, and they work for us, as part of their like time here, and that's their, like we're, yeah, we're not far off from any of this. I can't believe, yeah, I can't believe that the Republicans are outflanking Dems from the left. They're going to bring back Stalinist gulags. Navosh, they get Africa for that? I bet they use African slaves already. Yeah, no, they do, but like, the Republicans want there to be slaves domestically, too. There's a social purpose for that. I really believe undoing Brown versus Board and bringing back formal Jim Crow is close. Oh, yeah. They would go after Brown v. Board. They totally would. 100% they would, yeah. They absolutely, absolutely would. They would frame it as a states' rights thing, and they would say, like, they would talk about, like, historically black colleges, historically black universities, and they would go, like, by what constitutional argument can we say things like this can exist without, like, affording this discretion to other institutions, They also want to get rid of the Voting Rights Act. Well, they did say that. The Texas GOP platform literally said they want to get rid of the Voting Rights Act. Literally, just explicitly, they said that. in the Texas GOP thing, the statewide, yeah, and the Equal Rights Act, yeah. So the Equal Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, then get rid of Brown v. Board. Dude, we are backsliding. Who, baby? Who, Dilly? No, it was the Equal Rights Amendment. Was it the Equal Rights Amendment? No, it was the Voting Rights and the Equal Rights one, right? Yeah, I think so.
Must not be the final word. My administration will use all of its appropriate lawful powers, but Congress must act. And with your vote, you can act. You can have the final word. This is not over. Thank you very much. More to say this in weeks to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. Out comes Lin-Manuel Miranda to rap about America or something. I am not happy I joined. Do not thank me. Yeah. The Democrats are they're just too weak. They can't really do anything. I mean, I won't dance about it. Like I do just believe that the Republican Party should be like removed from power, you know. I don't care how this gets framed by history. I just think that the Democrats should just do a giant dab and they're like, yeah, these guys are openly seditious. You know, trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Like, yeah, illegitimate party, criminal party. Goodbye, go to jail. Do not collect 200, do not pass go. I don't care. Have them go full Zelensky. Yeah, do a Ukraine. Dude, what Ukraine did was based. The political party that they made illegal was literally siding with Russia and was saying and was like suggesting they nuke Kyiv. Like, you know, I think it's okay. As a believer in democracy, I actually think it's okay to outlaw a political party when they side with the country that's invading you and suggest nuking the capital of your country. You know, I am okay with that. Guys, remember back when the based-assed Union and Lincoln ousted all of the Confederate senators, you know, from Congress? Back when the Confederacy seceded, they were like, yeah, goodbye, and they like kicked out all the Confederate representatives. That was cool. Resurrect Sherman? Yeah. You guys know that meme where it's like, how would the world change if there was a giant hand floating around that was always just a little bit faster than you that would smush one person a day? You know what I'm talking about? That like meme, like how would history change? Okay. I feel like we need that, except we need that like eldritch force to be General Sherman, you know? Just General Sherman, like the ghost of the South, who just wanders around on horseback and leaves in his wake a trail of burning buildings. And he just sort of, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it, you know? You could just be chilling somewhere in Tennessee and just like, just fucking wanders through and everyone's dead, you know? And we just keep him there for 100 years. I've always said this. Why is the left afraid to weaponize vengeful spirits against Republicans? Okay? This is what I'm saying. Why? Why are they afraid? What are you afraid of? The vengeful spirit? A few months ago, I thought you said you don't support banning political parties, even if they're Nazis, because that violates free speech. I don't think I believe in banning political parties because of their beliefs. I do because of their actions. The Republican parties, as far as I'm concerned, have forfeited their position in a democracy by like attempting to overturn the electoral results. I think that's totally fair. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm okay with. I think I'm okay with banning any anti-democratic political parties. I think democracies have to preserve themselves. And in a democracy, if you are sorry, Bucko, if you're an anti-democratic party in a democracy, then you'd better succeed with a coup and nothing else, because you are not weaponizing our system to your own ends. Not a fucking shot. Nope, 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 nope. Good luck. Yeah. Nazis are by definition anti-democratic, of course, so, you know.